Chapter 8. Maps and Location. Neha is an 8-year-old girl. After school, Neha and her friends met at her grandparents' house in Bada Bazar. They went to another friend's house in the same colony to do a social studies project. Neha's friend stayed in a block of colony. So, Neha's grandfather drew a sketch of that block. On the sketch, he made arrows to mark the route that the girls should take. He also showed them a colony map of Bada Bazar that was printed for the residents of the colony. Sketch. A sketch is a rough or unfinished drawing of a place. It is not an exact drawing. It indicates distance, turns, direction, etc., and it is a quick reference material to locate a place we want to reach. Maps. Maps are very useful to find the location of a place if the address is unknown. It helps us to reach our destination, i.e., a map is a drawing of an area or part of it on a flat surface, like paper. A book of maps is called an atlas. Signs and symbols, legends, directions, and scale are the components of a map. People who make and study maps are called cartographers. Map language. Language of a map refers to things like signs, symbols, colors, and map scale, which helps us to read and understand the map. Each map tells us a story. We can read this story if we know the language of a map. Let us read about them in detail. Signs and symbols. Maps are very informative as they show a large number of features. It is not possible to write all the names of rivers, mountains, and cities, so we use signs and symbols. The signs and symbols are also called the language of map. Boundaries. International. State. District. Tehsil village. Road. Metalled. Unmetalled. Cart road. Footpath. Railways. Broad gauge. Meter gauge. Narrow gauge. Railway station. Water features. River. Stream. Canal. Bridge. Well, lined unlined. Tanks, perennial dry. Others. Capital, National State District Headquarter. Village town. Fort. Dam. Spring. Temple. Mosque. Church. Graves. Lighthouse. Benchmark. Trees. Some of the conventional signs and symbols used in maps are given above. Legend or key. A legend or a key tells us what the colors, patterns, and symbols used in the map represent. It is usually given in a small box within the boundary of the map. Directions and landmarks of a map. The knowledge of directions is very important for studying a map. If you look at a map, the top of the map indicates the north and the bottom shows the south. Towards the right is the east and towards the left is the west. These are also called cardinal directions. Directions in a map. In addition to these four major directions, There are 4 subdirections. These are located between north and west, called northwest. Between north and east, called northeast. Between south and west, called southwest. Between south and east, called southeast. Directions are always measured from the north. All the maps follow a uniform way of showing the directions. Landmarks are important reference points that help us locate a place. They can be a hospital, a mall, a school, a railway station, etc. Scale of a map. A map is much smaller than the area shown by it. So, a scale has to be used to draw a map. A scale is the ratio between the distance on the ground and the distance on a map. It is always given in a corner of a map. A scale is an important part of the language of a map. It relates the distance between places on a map to the actual distance between places. Meter scale. Kilometers. Miles. Feet.